Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be making a Big Brother style dollhouse. What I do want to make this for is starting a sort of Big Brother Sims 4 series. I kind of have to go through how this is going to end up working out because I do want to do some challenges, but I also do want to let the Sims be autonomous and let them build their own friendships, build up whatever skills they feel more drawn to and all that kind of stuff. So bear with me while I'm actually making the series. But for now, I figured I would be starting with the lot that they are going to be playing on. So first and foremost, I was going to be making a very forward facing lot with big windows all across the front. Initially, I was going to put the door in there. I believe I moved that after. But I wanted to fill the entire front wall with windows so that we're able to see what is happening in the house at all times. I'm going to be making each separate room. Now, in this room, if you know anything about Big Brother, in this house, I should say, if you know anything about Big Brother, there should be a diary room that I actually didn't include. In my mind, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to make that work in the series itself. If I let them go in the diary room, or if I maybe just make a little shed in the back off to the side and just make them film kind of B-roll for what I think is happening in the diary room. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. I really do want to try to make this series work. I'm really just trying to work all the kinks out of the gameplay. So if you've never watched any of the Big Brother series on TVs, the reality TV show, it's essentially a challenge-based reality TV show, but also with a little side of social experiment. So what happens is a group of strangers are essentially locked in a house. For this series itself, I'm going to be using 6 Sims. I just didn't know how chaotic it would be or how well it would work with anything more than that to be able to see what everyone is doing at one time. But essentially, they're all going to be locked in a house. They're not supposed to have any interaction with people outside of the house. So no computers, no TV, nothing that can give them news, any information like that. What I do kind of need to think about is the fact that I feel like Sims keep cell phones on them at all times. I don't know if there's a way for me to be able to individually turn each of their phones off so they're not getting random phone calls from Sims outside of the house. That's definitely something I'm going to have to look into. But generally, so it's going to be all these strangers that I've never met. I've already made the Sims and I've just made them all roommates. I haven't played with them yet, so they don't have any further built relationship with each other than whatever they start off with. So 6 strangers, they're going to be moving into this house together. Essentially, I want to let them autonomously build relationships with each other. I tried to give each of them some different personalities that will either clash or make them, decent friends. So they're all going to be locked in the house together, and I'm going to be also doing some challenges. So in the real Big Brother, every week there is something called a head of household. This is the person who will be nominating 2 people per week that go up for eviction. Now, in the TV series, they can also play for a veto. So the 2 people plus a few more would go up, play the challenge. Whoever wins the veto can either choose to use that on themselves, save themselves from eviction, or they could use it on potentially their friend and take them off of the block, is what they call it. Take them off of the block, and someone would have to be re-nominated for eviction. Now, thinking about all of these rules, I'm kind of stressed about how this is going to play out because I really don't want to start the series and then end up abandoning it halfway through because I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to keep playing it, anything like that. So please be patient with me as this is being filmed. I'm going to have to come up with ways for them to do their challenges. If I'm even going to do a veto, or if I'm just going to let whoever the head of household is nominate 2 people and then potentially just vote people out, maybe based on relationships. It's hard to say though, because in the show, people would even potentially vote out people they have good relationships with at the sake of who they want to end up winning the game. So for instance, at the end of the game in Big Brother, essentially people are put into a jury house. These jury members at the end of the series have 3 people. Actually, it goes down to 2 people. They have 2 people to vote for who they think deserve to win, who played the game the best. That would be including how many comps they've won, how well they've socialized with people in the house, and the relationships they've built. So anyways, there's lots of kinks with the actual gameplay that I need to work out. But specifically for this build, it's just lots of common areas. So initially I did start making that big kitchen. You're gonna see I go back in a bit because I forgot to put the front door in. But so there's a big kitchen area that people tend to hang out I should say. One big bathroom area. I do think I only ended up putting 1 toilet in, which is kind of awkward. But there's a couple shower stalls, all that stuff. Generally in the TV show, in the bathroom, they also do have like a bit of a living area. Like they have couches on the walls. Just because people, you know what, you're stuck in a house, people just tend to hang out wherever. And also people tend to group off into their alliances and talk in different areas of the house. So I did end up putting 2 little puff stools down there in the bathroom that you can see. Upstairs, we do have 1 bedroom, and I think I just threw in a whole bunch of bunk beds for them to sleep all in one area. There's not really much sitting area in that room, but you know, that'll just be the area they sleep in. I did try to add in some skill building options in the house in some of the main areas so that when I let the Sims autonomously do whatever they'd like, they can just kind of gear towards what their personality trait would like them to build up, and they will just autonomously do that themselves. And then when it comes to getting the challenges sorted out, they potentially would all have different skill sets based on whatever they've been working on inside the house in their downtime. Other things I was debating on is when I watched the Big Brother USA series, they do sometimes in the show have something called America's Vote. And I was really debating on if there's people in the comments who would be interested in watching this series, be able to give someone a veto who's up for eviction that week, based on whatever character has the most maybe name drops in the comments, something like that. But I do want to incorporate both the Sims autonomous behaviors and also maybe having the comments be voting on certain things just to make it a little more interactive to watch and maybe a little bit more exciting. But again, this is all stuff that I really need to work through. I really think I'm just going to be having to write a big, you know what, I'm probably going to need like a notebook to keep track of what's happening in this game, which is why I think starting with 6 Sims for a series like this is doable, because I think with anything more than that, it would just be absolutely way too much to keep up with. So again, bear with me while I try to organize all of the gameplay aspect to it. But I'm really excited because Big Brother is one of my favorite TV shows, and I just want to be able to take my own spin on that in the game. Hopefully it'll turn out okay. Time will tell, you know, we will find out. But again, so as I was making this build, I wanted to just ensure that all of the Sims have lots of opportunities to be skill building. So I tried to put as many little things that you can see in this big common area. Mirrors for charisma, you know, the easel to do painting, books so that they can kind of skill up anything that they want to read about, some of the knitting stuff, chess, etc., etc. This will hopefully come in handy when I figure out what the challenges that they're going to be doing are in the series, and then that way it's not really a rigged challenge of me just picking who kind of I like to win the challenge, but based on the skill that they've built in the house that will be helping them with the challenges in the series. Another thing as I talk about this is thinking about when I do the challenges, I feel like I'm gonna have to potentially be building like some sort of challenge lot for them. When I first initially picked this lot, I thought it was a decent size to be able to make this house on, But now that I've got everything laid down for it, I actually feel like if I'm going to be throwing a diary room in there somewhere, and if I'm going to be getting them to do challenges somewhere, there essentially is not enough room for all of that. So again, lots of stuff to think about. I did want to drop this video though, so that you guys kind of know what I'm up to. I don't know if this is something I'm going to be able to put out weekly, considering this is going to be sounding like a lot of planning to do, but I am going to try my best to keep up with it. I guess I haven't said this video, but most of you guys know I am moving. So in the coming weeks, I don't know if I'm just going to try to batch up a whole bunch of videos to film for something like this, or if I even have time to do that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy how this house is turning out. I was trying to make it kind of as spacious as possible, but again, I do want to be able to see everything if I just leave the camera running from the front to see what the Sims are autonomously doing, if you're able just to look at the house directly head on. As for little details, I did put a bunch of security cameras around the house to make it look like all of the Big Brother cameras that are essentially in the house that they normally have, because they're being recorded at all times. Little things like that. If you guys watch the series, please let me know what you think of this. If you guys don't watch the series, I would love to know if you're interested in watching this to kind of see how things are going to turn out and go about. I did make all 6 of the housemates have different personalities. I do think there is a potential for, in the show they call it a showmance, but I do think there is a potential for maybe some of the housemates to have romance situations, which could also make it interesting, and that always just adds a little more drama to the reality TV sector. And honestly, that's about it for this build and this video. I have not play tested the house yet, so I will give you guys a warning if I do start the series and there are a few things that are changed. My apologies. It's probably just because I figured I needed something else, something wasn't working, someone couldn't get into their bed, etc., etc. But this is essentially what I wanted it to look like. Lots of big group areas where people can hang out, have their conversations, work on their skills, and then also for us to be able to watch what's happening from the front. If you guys do have any ideas, suggestions, anything like that you potentially think could help me with this challenge, please leave a comment, because as much as I'm excited to get this started, I'm also stressed that it's not gonna work the way that I want it to, but that's okay. Time will tell, and we'll do the best that we can with what we've got. And be sure to let me know in the comments if you're interested in watching a series like this, and if something like this goes well, would you want to see any sort of other reality TV series? I really shouldn't get ahead of myself, considering I don't know how this is going to work. But in the meantime, this is how everything turned out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're excited for the series. Let me know if there's anything you would do differently. And I appreciate you guys watching another one of my YouTube videos. I'm really trying to be more consistent with uploading. I think something like this, starting a series, is a good way to do that. But if you guys could interact with this video in any way, it's always helpful. So thank you again for watching, and I should see you soon. Bye!